That is not a bad cup of coffee. Hello my friends, welcome back to another video of me sitting here talking on my nonsense. So this is another sort of update video, channel update. I did one back in September and here I am sitting here talking to you again, just because I have some news to share, some updatey sort of stuff. Nothing should be too surprising. So the first things first, don't worry, I'm not resigning, I'm not quitting or whatever. Nothing like that, nothing bad, actually, all good news. In fact, this upcoming Friday, the next Twilight Princess dungeon design video is on track and ready to be released. So that will be out on Friday, and that'll be us visiting the Lakebed Temple of Twilight Princess. It's pretty much Twilight Princess's equivalent to the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time, right? So it's a great dungeon. I actually really love it, despite its reputation. It is what it is. So the second piece of information actually is something that people have often requested over the last few years, and that is burger merch. So burger merch exists, and what's burger merch? It's my merch. That's what it is. That should be self-explanatory, guys. People have been asking me for a while if I would launch merch or whatever, if I would sell merch, and I've always been kind of wishy-washy about it, like I don't know, it seems self-indulgent, but I guess enough people have asked me over a course of amount of time that I caved, and I was like, you know what, there's no harm in it. So I have opened a threadless store. That's the website which will be selling my merch, and you can buy wicked cool burger merch such as this. But as soon as this stuff came in the mail, I was actually very psyched for it. I was really excited to share this stuff with you guys. We have a couple of designs ready and at launch here. The classic capped logo, which was designed by my good friend Tevy Bear, who designed it with the idea of it being like the Smash Bros stock icons. I really loved it. It resonated with me. I also commissioned him for my Twitch emotes that you've seen, and it's also, you see that in the thumbnail for most of my streams where the little me with my eyebrows raised holding the controller, this image. So yeah, he designed the classic capped logo. It comes on a variety of shirts in different styles. You've got ringer style, V-necks. I particularly recommend, though you don't have to, but there's lots of different styles and different fabrics you can choose from and colors. I particularly like the extra soft t-shirt because, as the name implies, it is extra soft. It is so comfy. Now, this design I really like because it's kind of subtle. It's unintrusive, it's out of the way, you can wear a jacket, no one would know unless you want them to. But some people might want a design that's a little more out there, a little more bombastic, I'll say. So I actually had commissioned this piece from actually my brother, who is a great and talented artist, and he designed this design, the Legend of Capped Burgerson, with the not one, but two bananas on one shirt. I adore this design. I absolutely love this. This one is also available on hoodies and t-shirts as well. And there's a couple other things. You get stickers and notebooks and whatever you want as well. But this stuff, I'm so pleased with how it turned out, actually. Everything is printed on demand, so shipping can take a little bit, but it's worth it. It was a really easy, great way to go about doing this, to launching this stuff. So I'm very happy. I'll have a link in the description for the merch line on the Threadless store. If you see these designs on any website other than Threadless, do not buy it. I've already found multiple websites that are selling this stuff, and it's not me, it's art theft. I already got it taken down from one site. I'm getting radio silence from another site. It's a whole thing. But if you see it anywhere else, don't buy it. Only buy it from the Threadless shop, which you'll see Threadless in the URL. The next thing is another often requested thing that I've decided to go ahead and do, and that was Discord. So I've been asked many times over the years if I have a Discord server, and I've always said no, because there's no point. Everyone that would be in that Discord is already in another server that I'm in. You know? That's always how I felt about it. All these channels, everybody's got a Discord. Everyone and their dog has a Discord. So I was like, there's no point. But you know what? I decided there's no harm in it. Again, it doesn't cost me anything to do it. And it's kind of nice to have a place where I can kind of just chat with people. So I did create a server. Again, Discord link is in the description. Check that out. And if you are on Patreon or a channel member here on YouTube, then you will be able to have a special Discord role. For both channel members and Patreon members, you already get early access to videos, so that will continue. I'll still be posting them on those platforms, but I also have a separate private channel actually 2 private channels in that Discord server. One where you can also find early access to all of my videos and discuss them there, and another that's just a place to privately chat that's kind of more low-key than the sort of public chat. Yeah, so the Discord is live, the merch is live, it all exists now per your guys' requests. I hope I didn't sound like reluctant in this video. I'm actually really happy with how this stuff has gone and how it's turned out, and I'm so happy that people would want to support me in that way. But some people have already received their orders and sent me pictures, which you're seeing on screen now, because the shop's been open a few weeks before I was getting this video up, because I wanted to have the merch here to show you guys. And they look great, and I'm so happy with how this stuff has turned out. And I'm so happy that you guys were so enthusiastic about this and so happy to get your merch and stuff. Like, it just makes my heart feel so full. Stream wise, there's a couple of things. Obviously, I was doing this whole Metroid thing leading up to Dread, and now we have finished Metroid Dread, but I'm not quite ready to halt my playthroughs of the series. We had actually skipped a couple of games to get to Dread on time. I had to skip playing through Metroid Prime 2 and 3, which are both great games in their own right. So we already did play Prime 1, but I just skipped the other 2, and I was like, you know, they're not actually important to like the story of Dread. They're not. I was right about that. Now that Dread is finished, people are asking me what's next. The answer is I'm gonna actually go back and revisit those Prime games that I skipped. We'll play through Prime 2 and 3 next. After those games are up, we'll see where it takes us. We'll see. I've actually got like a list of games that I want to stream, and I've thought about revisiting some of these Zelda games or re-streaming some of these Zelda games, just because my stream quality has improved since I streamed a lot of those. But you know, we'll see. I don't want to say anything too specific too far ahead of time. Like, I can say I'm gonna play the Prime games now, and that's fine because that's like this week. I can start into Prime 2. But like, we're looking at things like several months from now. Not so sure about what I'll be streaming then, because I might change my mind, or a game might come out or drop and I'll have to stream that, or, you know, like any number of things could happen. So I don't want to promise anything too far ahead of time. Do you know what I mean? But you know, the stream schedule will continue, having the one evening stream on the weekend and the Wednesday morning stream. I've been asked a lot about the Dungeon Design series. We are kind of approaching the end of the 3D Zelda games for that series. I've already done Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. So once Twilight Princess is up, people have been asking me like, what's next? I am thinking that I'll revisit the 2D games because I really do like 2D Zelda. Initially, I had skipped like the first 4 Zelda games because I was like, well, there's not as much necessarily thematics-wise to talk about. But then I was thinking about it recently, and Link's Awakening in particular, I think could be really fun to dive into, but I would feel bad not doing A Link to the Past first because I really love that game. So I think we'll revisit some of the older 2D games soon, once we're done Twilight Princess. I'm not decided yet on what order to do those in. I might just go Zelda 1, 2, A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening. If we do Link's Awakening, it'll be the remake, just for presentation-wise. I also think the remake is just a better experience, but I'll get into that in its own video. People have been asking me a lot about if I'm gonna do a sort of, not dungeon design per se, but that sort of style of video with any other games. And I've been dwelling on it a lot. I have actually done a 25-minute long sort of analysis video about Super Metroid, which I look back on now and I kind of cringe at a bit because it's not the best. My train of thought is a little all over the place. It's not the most cohesive video in my opinion. It does capture a lot of the emotional stuff that I felt while playing through the game, but I feel like my videos now have a lot more structure to them, and that structure helps keep things understandable. But I do intend to work on a Metroid Dread video. The thing is that Metroid games are structured a little different than Zelda games, so I can't break it up into several dungeon-specific videos, or it would be like zone-specific videos in Metroid's case. I can't do like a video on Artaria, and then a video on Cataris, or Brinstar and Norfair. I can't separate it into those two areas, and the reason for that is that there's just so much backtracking and crisscrossing through areas, so it just wouldn't work under that structure. Whereas Zelda traditionally has pretty clear distinctions between its dungeons and its overworld. Like, they're fully separated, and that's just not the case for Metroid. That exact structure video won't really work, but I am planning on doing something similar in that vein of thought with Metroid Dread specifically to start with, and how it kind of stacks up compares to some of the older Metroid games, that kind of thing. The only thing is that because I have to kind of take it as one bigger picture, it's going to take me more time to work on, basically. So there might be a couple weeks without a big upload like that, just while I'm working on that. Just know that ahead of time. It's not that I've forgotten you guys or that I'm not uploading anymore. It just means I'm working on making that video the best it can be. Actually, these last Twilight Princess ones are a great example of that. There's been a couple weeks where I haven't uploaded one, so I'll upload like a filler video the week in the middle. For example, this week, the Lakebed Temple video is coming out. You'll notice last Friday was a Q&A video, which I actually was able to whip up in like less than a day, right? So that way I had nearly an extra additional week, which I used almost that whole amount of time to finish, putting touch-ups, polish on that video. Those dungeon videos take me time to do. They're long videos. They're like upwards of 30 minutes lately. I really want to make sure they're good quality, that they're bingeable, rewatchable, top quality stuff. Sometimes they take time. That's all. That's really where I'm going with this. So that's going to be the case for this Metroid Dread video. I don't think I can get it out in 1 week. That's just not going to happen, I don't think. And Dread isn't a long game per se, but all of this stuff, it takes time and effort, and I want to make sure that I give you guys the best product, best quality that I can. So thank you for listening to me ramble. I appreciate you guys staying tuned for this video. I just want to keep you guys updated on the going-ons of the channel here. If there's any sort of gaps in videos, it's just because I'm working on making the next video the best it can be. I don't talk about it a lot, but I do have a Patreon. You can join channel membership now here on YouTube. All of that is a go. I appreciate all of you guys that have already supported here or continue to, or if you just have in the past at any time. I just super appreciate it. And if you can't or just don't want to, do not feel pressured to. There's no obligation. Anyways, guys, I've talked long enough. I'm very bad at ending these sort of videos, so I will just sign off now. Thank you all so much for listening to me talk. I appreciate you, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. I just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you to the lovely people who supported me on Patreon, as well as my channel members, particularly those who supported at the cheese level or higher, which includes Tetra, Brenda, Justin, Callie, Finley, Greymage, Hylian Historian, Gale, and Ethan3G. Thank you so much for the support, you guys, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.